Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to our December Town Hall meeting. It's nice to see so many of you here. Before we get started, I would like to take just a minute and thank all of those who helped put together what I hope you enjoyed as a wonderful holiday celebration the other night. Absolutely. Steve and the Live Well team did a phenomenal job of planning. Mike and the Dining Services team did a phenomenal job of pulling off a really nice event for dinner. We had lots of folks volunteer to come in, whether it was some of our friends from the home office or some of our friends from Village Point, or many of our friends here from Monroe Village who gave of themselves to make sure we were able to pull off a really, really nice holiday event for everyone. So I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun for everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we you know, we're still dealing with some tricky stuff right now. I think we all know that. And we'll get through it. We'll deal with it like we do with everything else. But I will say it was really, really nice to see everyone together, having a good time, enjoying a good meal with friends, and then great entertainment up here to cap off the evening. So it really was a great way to, I don't know if I want to say kick off the holiday season, because with Hanukkah being so early this year, we really kicked off the holiday season really just a couple days after Thanksgiving. So, you know, it turns into a whole 6-week escapade of holiday fun, which is fine with me, so I'll take it. So I'm glad you enjoyed, and again, our thanks to those who put everything together. They did a great job. So as we say, we're at the end of the year. It's hard to believe it's December, and we have another full meeting agenda for all of you today as we close out 2021. So we will get the party started here. And we'll start off with Nathan Perez, our Director of Sales and Marketing, who has an update on where we are as we close out the year in terms of new residents and new friends joining us. So, here's Nathan.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go over a snapshot of... We'll go over a snapshot of where we are year to date, and then I'll give you a little bit of a highlight of what we're doing this month, all right? In terms of the sales goal for the entirety of the year, we have a goal of 50 sales. So far, we have 47. In terms of closings or move-ins for the year, we have a goal of 47, and so far we have 43 apartments that have been closed on. That's not 43 residents, that's more than 43 residents, but 43 closings have occurred already this year. In terms of what we're seeing in the market, now that we're kind of at the end of the year, we kind of get a sense of what has happened, right? Initial inquiries, those are people that have been raising their hands for the first time to request information from us. Those are up 30%. Prospect re-inquiries, those are folks that have already raised their hand and maybe we're calling them and enticing them to come and see the community a little bit more in detail and sit with us. Those are up 54% to goal. And we are anticipating 50 sales for the year. As I just showed you, we are at 47 sales, I'm sorry. So far we have a couple more apartments on hold for this month. We will definitely hit 50 sales for the year, which is a great year, especially given everything we've been going through. So in terms of December, we have 2 move-ins already with 2 more scheduled by the end of the month. We have 2 sales so far. 2 depositors have already picked out their apartments. And then we have 5 more apartments on hold. So if we clear 3 of those or we close 3 of those, you know, that's a good ending to the year. We're still marketing the community, even though it's around the holiday time. It's a really great time to bring people into the community and show them what's going on here, all the fun and excitement that we have at the close of the year. So we have 2 holiday open houses that are scheduled this month. We had one on December 7th, and I have another one the following Tuesday, next Tuesday. So far, we have 31 RSVPs for those, including 16 new inquiries. So our event strategy and tactic, our direct mail, is still yielding success and results. So that is very encouraging. In the new year, I'll probably kick off January with a little bit of a highlight of what we'll be doing in the year, just to give you a sense of what's to come. But thank you all for your support this year. I know it's been a really challenging year for all of us just to live here, let alone market the community and bring new people to us. So thank you for your support. Thanks for hanging in with us all together as one. How you can help further, just another reminder, you can refer your friends to us. You can provide a testimonial for our website or collateral pieces or advertising. Some of you have done that recently. You can take part in welcoming new residents to the community as well. If you do refer your friends to us, another friendly reminder of our referral program, if your friend moves into the community, you will receive 1 full month free from us. All right, so it's a good deal for you to just talk up the community and share the good word about us. Just refer them to us, and then me and my team will take it from there. All right. Thank you again for a good year. Happy holidays, and let's land this plane. It's 2022.
Thanks, Nathan. And yeah, in the midst of all the fun that 2021 has brought us, the fact that 2021 has also brought us almost 50 new apartments occupied and more, close to 50 new residents when you count spouses, that's really saying something. And I feel like I say this every month, but it's really true. It's a credit to all of you as our residents that other folks want to come and join the family here. You know, they see what goes on when they come to visit. They see the events, they see the programs, they see all of you, you know, engaged and involved in things and having, you know, a good time. And that really means something. And that makes our day go by better too, you know, knowing that we've got all that going on and that there are things for folks to do each and every day, which makes it good and makes other people want to, you know, say, hey, this could be a fun place to live. And it is, right? You know, I like to describe it as just living in the dorm at college. If you lived in the dorms when you went to college, with none of the responsibilities of going to class. Now my son, which we talked about last month, you know, he's still working on understanding the responsibilities of going to class. I told him he can't move in here with all of you and just go to the parties. He needs to go to class. And yes, he did make it back eventually after his flight from Roanoke to Atlanta and Atlanta to Hartford, so. Oh boy. Anyway, all right, on to other things. Speaking of parties, I'd like to invite the Angry Elf up next. No, she's not the Angry Elf. She's the Happy Elf, the Jolly Elf, who was wearing her elf hat the other night. Cindy Felter, our Director of Resident Services. We all know Cindy and all the joy she brings to us each and every day. And she's got a lot of joy to spread right now with things that we want to talk about that are coming up in the next few weeks. So, here's Cindy.
Hello, everybody. I want to start with saying thank you so much for your generous gifts to all of the staff for appreciation. Greatly appreciated. We had a great party last Friday that Maria and HR put together. And just, it means a lot to us that you all appreciate what we do. So thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. Are you gonna?
Oh, you want me to drive?
Yeah, you drive.
I didn't know I had to run the sleigh too here.
Okay, so for January, while we wait for our crack IT guy.
You know, I just want you to know, your review's due soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
And those of you who pray, please pray for me. So, January, on Saturday the 8th at 7:15, we have just the two of us. On Saturday the 15th at 7, we have casino night. That's really popular, so everybody put that down. You Texas Hold'em fiends, you'll get your fill that night, because they're putting in more, I think Texas Hold'em than they did.
Poker, yeah.
Saturday the 22nd at 7:15, we have Jenna, and I'm not gonna say her last name, but she's a Barbara Streisand, kind of, what would you say?
Singer?
Entertainer, let's just say that. Okay, next. Okay, there's some anxiety about New Year's Eve, about the sun. I'm prefacing it with, don't worry, It'll be okay, I promise. So what we're doing, first off, you're gonna have your meal, because it's a holiday, it's gonna be between 11 and 2. So that's holiday meals in the morning. And then at night, from 7 to 9, we'll have our New Year's Eve party. And the last time we had a New Year's Eve party, it was so much fun, and I'm anticipating conga lines, because that went on in the last one. So that's going to include hot hors d'oeuvres and music and dancing. What you're going to do to sign up for this is new, so I'm prefacing this, we can do this. We can do hard things, as they say. We're gonna have the sign up in the community room. And some people don't know where the community room is. It's in the Live Well Center by the gym. And we have something going on with marketing, so we're kind of diverting people to the Live Well Center. So what you can do, and this is gonna be Tuesday, December 14th at 3, so next Tuesday, one person from your group can go and sign everybody up. So that's one thing, and then we're gonna have if you can't make it for some reason, we're having a second sign up Thursday, December 16th at 6:15. That'll be in the lobby. So that's that. In January, we're having, last year we had her via Zoom. Ruth Hartz is going to be doing a program for a Holocaust Remembrance Day on Wednesday, January 5th. I hope you will all come to that. Other interesting things that we've got going on in January, Beatrix Schwartz is going to help do a World Religion Day because it's World Religion Month, so look for that. Nathan, if you haven't had a chance to see the beautiful different varieties of plants in the greenhouse, stop by because Nathan has them, the botanical names, what they need. It really is beautiful. We're going to be calling those people who want to help with the greenhouse, and we're going to get that started, and he's getting ready to hand that off. He has done an amazing job of creating a vibrant, healthy, not that it wasn't vibrant and healthy before. We are so grateful for everybody before, but it's just a little bit different. Okay, next. Phones. With everybody talking to family and friends around the holidays, we're noticing that we're getting a whole lot more no dials. So people aren't hanging up after they're speaking to someone. And what happens is that goes to the front desk. Joyce has to answer it. She has to get security. Security has to come. And it's, nobody wants to knock on their door to tell them there's a no dial. So please, when you're on the phone, please make sure you press end when you're done, just so that we can cut down on those in case there is a real emergency we need to tend to. Okay? So our book group lady, Helene, will not be here this month and next month. So I'm taking over this month and next month. And I just want to say a lot of people have read this book. It's Where the Crawdads Sing. So if you've read it and you're not a part of the book group, you can still come. It's next Tuesday at 10:30 in the Creative Workshop.
But not October 14th.
You didn't catch that.
No. I missed that one.
No, it's not October, you guys. That's pretty sad. It should be December. Thank you. And then, let's see. And then next, we've been talking about it. We're finally going to do it. We're going to have our quilting group start. If you've never quilted before, but you always wanted to, please call the front desk, put your name down. We're going to be doing this in the Creative Workshop on Fridays at 10:30, except when there's a town hall. And this is really, people think quilting, it's so, bland, but, it goes back centuries, and women have expressed themselves creatively. This is a domestic art that is an incredible art form and a way for people to express themselves. So we're coming at it from a few ways. It is going to be a bit of beginners, so we're not using sewing machines. It's going to be hand stitching. And anybody who wants to just see what it's about, come on down or put your name down. And this is the last thing. We had a meeting yesterday about with our case manager and the people over at Village Point. It is really important that we have an updated medication list from every single one of you and your updated insurance. It's for your safety and for a smooth, if you need to go to Village Point, if you need to go to the hospital. So they're gonna be sending a letter about this out, so you can expect that from the clinic, because we want to be able to work quickly with EMS, with the hospital, with Village Point. So please make sure you get that back to them. It helps everybody. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. You like tiptoeing behind me, or you don't even give me a ticket? I mean,
sorry.
you don't want to hear my shtick in between.
I don't want you to say I'm a mean elf or nothing.
You just talk trash.
Woohoo! I like that.
Did you like that?
Oh, that's
So Dale's here to talk trash. Everybody knows Dale. Dale's not an angry elf.
No.
She's the happy little nymph who goes about flits here, there, and everywhere.
Yes.
So I've got no better segue. So you just killed everything I had.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay. We'll talk about that later too.
Okay.
Anyway, all kidding aside, I'd like to introduce Miss Dale Hill, Director of Housekeeping, who's got a few reminders for us. So here's Dale.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
This is something that I trash. That's why he did that little joke. I want to talk a little bit about trash pickup. Lately, trash is being put out 7 days a week. Trash days are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays after 2 o'clock. It's very unsightly. Also, the trash is being put in the laundry rooms. There's so much trash that's being put in the laundry room just piled up. Please, trash is to be picked up Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and also on the weekends, there is no trash. Trash is even out on the weekends. There's times where we walk by and we pick it up and we bring it, but it's getting to a point where it's getting to be too much. Every day is trash day, and trash is out at 8 o'clock in the morning. Please, let's follow the procedures that we have to follow. Trash is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays after 2 o'clock, and there's no trash pickup on the weekends. Thank you.
All right. So no, you can't leave yet.
I'm not leaving.
So you all can't see it because it's a little dark and you can't see Dale's feet.
Oh, shoot.
But Dale is wearing maroon scrubs today with matching maroon pinkish shoes. I don't know where Dale finds all her shoes, but she has sneakers or shoes to match every single outfit that she wears here. And I think she wears them out because she's running all over the place when she does it. And so I don't know how she does it, but she's got shoes to match everything. So she is our housekeeping director and fashionista, I guess, is what we'll call her.
I thought we was going to talk about a little bit more about trash. What are you talking
Oh
about?
no, I'm leaving you to deal with the trash.
Okay.
Thank you, Dale. Oh my, can you tell that we're a little giddy here in the holiday season? So, too much eggnog, exactly. So speaking of eggnog, we did talk before Mike got here about the great meal that we had for the holiday concert event. And we thought we'd give Mike the opportunity to come in and give you all a little bit of an update on what we're doing in the dining services department. We know it is an area that is of tremendous importance to everyone, and understandably so. And we've, had some ups and downs, staffing challenges. Mike's going to talk a little more about that. You all know where that's been, and if you've been out and about any place recently, you've probably seen it at a lot of other places other than just here. So we're competing in a very difficult environment right now, but we're trying to do everything we can to get as many people in to join the team here so that we can resume all the normal operations and all the things that we want to do. This is not a situation any of us want to be faced with. But we've also been doing a lot of good things despite some of the challenges we've had. And Mike's here to talk to us a little bit about that and a little bit about some things to come. So here's Mike Wierzbowski, Director of Dining Services. You can drive.
Oh, well, how do I drive?
It's a stick shift. I'll drive for you.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Unlike Dale, I wear the same uniform every day, so it makes things much easier. So, okay. I just wanted to start by going over a few things regarding dining services. Some of those are, we didn't have the town hall meeting in November, so I wanted to just go over some of the things. And when I was writing my notes today, we've all been pretty busy, especially working with Steve and Cindy and Gina on a lot of the holidays and things like that, that we've had. So back, some of the previous special events that we've done, we had the Italian American Heritage Day that we did on October 21st, and then we did the Polish American Heritage Day on October 28th. Thanksgiving Day, we had our Thanksgiving meal. Hanukkah was very early this year, which we did a special menu for also on November 29th. And as everyone's aware, we had the holiday concert and dinner. Instead of dinner and a movie, we did dinner and concerts this past Wednesday on the 8th. In addition to that, we've started the fall menus back on October 22nd, and I've gotten a lot of comment cards, and that's something that in the previous town hall meetings, that will be the last slide. There's different ways that people can get in contact with me, and many of the residents are utilizing those other ways, such as my email and voicemail, as well as the comment cards. So I continue to encourage all the residents to utilize those three ways because, based on everyone's feedback, we did make some other changes with the fall menus back on November 29th, just after Thanksgiving. So, we changed a lot of the side dishes and things like that. So, I continue to encourage residents to do that. So it gets me feedback, so it helps me, get a better understanding of what a majority of the residents want in terms of side dishes and entrees and things like that. So please continue to do that. Winter starts, first day of winter is coming up on December 21st, so we'll be looking to change the menus again for the winter season. Another thing that I wanted to go over was, it's still challenging in terms of getting some supplies, whether it's food or whether it's paper supplies. Paper supplies continue to be an ongoing challenge, just from a manufacturing standpoint. I'm sure everybody sees on the news all those container ships that are anchored off the West Coast, and the delays that they're having unloading those ships and products and things like that. And that's something that's industry-wide right now. There's many restaurants and other types of food service operations that are using an extensive amount of takeout right now, including us. So it's very the whole supply and demand is just creating a strain on the whole system. And when items become available and they're back in stock, everybody grabs everything because it's back in stock, but you don't know for how long it's going to be in stock. So we're ordering extra cases, and then the shipments that just came in are gone. So it's a challenge to do that. And sometimes you can't mix and match certain products. Even the little cups that we put condiments in, if I get a different brand, then the lid doesn't fit that container because it's a different brand. So it's a lot of juggling things. It's been a challenge. Also, even with food prices, anybody who goes out to the supermarket can see that some of the shelves are empty, some of the products aren't there. Heinz ketchup has been hard to get for the past 2 months. It's a lot of that. It starts, with the manufacturing, whether it's getting the raw ingredients to make products, or whether it's getting them imported into the country. It's still a challenge right now. Hopefully that will improve, as time goes on in the next couple months. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, which I've heard from many residents, and we've also discussed this in depth at the dining committee meetings. All right, thanks. Is staffing. Generally around the holidays, whether you're a job seeker or you are an employer trying to hire and recruit staff, around the holiday times is a difficult time of the year to do that. We've reached out, Monroe Township Schools continues to be very supportive of us here at Monroe Village. They've always been. We've worked with some of their students in the job sampling program, which both myself and Maria Wisbeski, our Human Resources Director, have. We maintain constant contact with the high school. We have a person that we work with in the high school, and she's been very supportive of us here. So I notice, I'm sure people have seen, a lot of new faces in terms of the Fireside Restaurant and also up in the bistro. But the staffing continues to be a challenge. We have ads posted in most of the local community colleges, Monroe Township High School. Jay and I have worked a lot with increasing sign-on bonuses, employee referral bonuses. We've increased our rates. So we've done, I think everything we can do, really, all the way around in all aspects of recruiting, but it just continues to be a challenge. We've refreshed our ads that are online, our job postings online with websites like Indeed and ZipRecruiter and a lot of those other job boards that are online, which is what most younger people use. I don't think anybody looks in the newspaper anymore in the help wanted sections. So we've been trying to be as creative as we can to recruit staff. We have roughly about 24 positions that we need to fill right now, and that's not going to happen overnight. So we have been making some progress. We've hired so far 6 people for the Fireside Restaurant. They're part-time servers. Mostly younger employees, 15, 16 years old, so this is their very, very, very first job. So there's challenges with working with some of the younger individuals and teaching them some of the responsibilities of having a job. We have 2 part-time people that we've hired for the Village Bistro. One of them is Thomas. He's been working the past couple weekends, and we have another one who you'll see this weekend. She's starting Saturday in the bistro as well. So that's 2 part-time employees that we've hired as servers for the Village Bistro. We've hired 1 part-time dietary aide for the assisted living, and we've hired 1 part-time kitchen utility worker for the kitchen. So, it's 6, 7, 8, 9 people that we've had, 10 people, no, 9, I can't count. 9 people that we've had, hired so far. So it's slow, but we are making some progress, and it's, it's always kind of sometimes it's you don't know what you have until they're in the door. I've spoken with one of the dining committee meetings with the dining committee members, and there was one week where I hired 5 employees, but I lost 4, whether it's through a resignation or termination. I try to, when I interview job applicants, I kind of set what my expectations are right from the start, and that's that I need you to be dependable and I need you to be responsible and reliable. When you're on the schedule and it's your time to come into work, you have to show up. And like I said, with a lot of the younger people, it's a different generation that we're dealing with right now. So, and in addition to that, we also, because most of them are students and high school students, we still have to work around their extracurricular activities, whether it be soccer or football or cheerleading, or they're not available 5 nights a week to work during certain seasons, whether it's sports or chorus or other activities too. So we are trying our best to to recruit as quickly as possible, and I think it's just going forward. I'm glad everyone that we were able to have a nice Thanksgiving in the Fireside Restaurant. the residents that, I went around to all the tables on Thanksgiving. Everyone had a nice meal. They were able to relax and have a good time for Thanksgiving, and I'm happy that we were able to make that possible. Same thing with the holiday concert and the dinner. We've all heard, I think, a lot of great feedback from the residents, and once again, that was a lot of work and effort, and not just for dining services, but for Steve and Cindy and Gina and all the other managers who pitched in and stayed late and made their time available to help us with the alcohol as well. So I'd like to thank all of them for their extra hours and their hard work that night too. So we're going to continue to work on those things for the holidays coming up. Just a reminder to everyone, as Cindy had mentioned, we will be doing the New Year's Eve party. Last year we had to do New Year's to go.
Right.
So this year we're able to have a party. So I'm happy that we're able to do that, and we're gonna work with Cindy and Steve to make that a nice night for everybody as well. But also just a reminder for Christmas Eve day, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve day, and New Year's Day. We will be serving the meal earlier on those 4 days. It'll be just like Thanksgiving. The hours will probably be 11:30 to 2 or 11 to 2. We'll get the word out on that as we get a little bit closer. Probably next week we'll have a better idea of what we're doing for those 4 days as well. So once again, though, please continue. There's the information for the Fireside Restaurant. The extension is 6433 to place your orders. We have the menu line that's available instead, as an alternative to Touchtown. That's extension 6485. And you can reach me directly at extension 6424. And my email address is also there as well. And in both the bistro and the Fireside Restaurant, where the comment cards are located, my business cards are also there, and they have all that information on there as well. So please continue to provide me with your feedback. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, just to give a couple of real-world examples, Mike talked about supply chain issues and things like that. You may have noticed, we were using for the dinner meal what I'm going to call the barn boxes, that were boxes that kind of folded up and then they were in the bag. And then probably 3 weeks or so ago, we moved to those larger boxes with the bigger bags that all the different containers sit in. The reason we made that change is because we can't get the barn boxes. They're just out of stock. And what we have done to cover ourselves, for lack of a better term, is we've ordered barn boxes from about 3 different vendors, hoping that one of them produces barn boxes for us. Those are the kinds of real world challenges that we're facing just to be able to make things work. And it's not just here, it's everywhere, but just to give you an example of something like that. And as far as the staffing goes and all of what we're trying to do to bring folks in, Mike touched on it. We're now offering a $1,500 sign-on bonus for new kids to come and join us in the dining program. $1,500 is a lot of money to me, and I'm not 16. So we're trying to really entice people to come join us here. We're also offering a $1,500 referral bonus, meaning that if an existing employee refers someone who comes and joins our dining program, they will get $1,500. So, we're trying to put our money where our mouth is. It's really important that we get staff in place and we get back to a normal dining operation. It is a priority for us. We've also increased pay rates, as Mike said. We're paying a brand new person who's never had a job before at this point $13 an hour, and other people who come to us with any kind of experience in dining services or being a waiter or waitress, we're paying them even more to reward them for their experience as a reason to come work here. And then all the different efforts we talked about, whether it be the local schools or the internet sites for recruiting and stuff like that, we're trying to pull out all the stops. I just heard a report this morning, that unemployment in New Jersey still lags behind national numbers, meaning the unemployment rate is higher in New Jersey than it is nationally. But what's so head scratching about that, because in the same breath, then the report goes on to say, so many employers are struggling to find people to work. It's a situation that we've talked about it before. It really is head scratching right now, and we're doing all we can in what is an I don't know if I would call it ununderstandable, because that's not really a word, but a situation that is just really unusual. But we're going to keep plugging away, and all ideas are good ideas. I challenged our director of dining over at Village Point. I said, give me the wildest, craziest, wackiest, off-the-wall idea you've got to try to recruit people, and let me know what it is, and we'll consider it, because there's no bad ideas right now. There's no bad ideas. So, with that, that's my little my little song and dance on dining and all the things we're trying to do. But despite all that, I do have to continue to give Mike and the team credit for what they are doing, and I also have to give all of you credit for continuing to go with the flow, knowing that it's not what any of us want to be doing, and we do appreciate your support with that. All right, speaking of resident support, I'd like to start by telling you thank you, just as Cindy did, for your generosity in contributing to the Employee Appreciation Fund. As you can see up there on the screen, you raised $103,019 in total. That's a hell of a chunk of change, so thank you very, very much for your generosity with that. And that was distributed to 121 different team members here at Monroe Village. And I believe it's based upon the number of hours worked. Okay, so the more hours you work, the more money you would receive as the Holiday Appreciation Fund. And I believe somebody who worked the maximum number of hours received somewhere over $1,000 as their bonus. And that's really, again, $1,000 is a lot of money. And I think that really can make a difference for people. And again, it's your generosity that's making that happen. And in particular, I would like to thank what I have called a couple of different times the Barry and Larry Show. Barry Falk, who is the president of your Residents Association, and Larry Shepard, who is the treasurer of your Residents Association. They really made the collection and all of it a priority this year, and worked very, very hard in trying to raise money, get contributions, but also review the way that the whole process worked to improve the Employee Appreciation Fund, to improve the process through their efforts and that of the executive committee. I think that it was just a tremendous, tremendous success this year. So I see Barry. I don't know if Larry's out there. Is Larry out there? No, I don't see him today. But thank you to both of you for that, and the other members of the executive committee, and of course to all of you for your generosity. So let's talk a little bit about staffing, particularly in our clinical areas. Mike gave you an update on dining, so I'm going to talk a little bit about a few people that are new to us and one who's a returning person. So I believe I mentioned during the October town hall that Dasha Syriac was resigning or stepping back from the Director of Clinical Services role because she was focusing on finishing her RN degree, being a new grandma, and planning a wedding. That's a pretty busy combination of things. So Dasha has stepped back from the leadership role, and we have been fortunate enough to bring in a gentleman named Ed Petrowski, who is our new Director of Clinical Services. Ed has been with us about 3 or 4 weeks now. You may have seen him around. He is responsible for all of the clinical operations of Monroe Village. And what I mean by that are the clinic itself, the doctor's office, the personal care or PC program where the nurses and the aides come out to your apartments in independent living, and also the nursing and clinical functions of assisted living. So we have nurses and aides in assisted living 24 hours a day. So he oversees those areas together, which brings all of the nursing and clinical needs for our entire Monroe Village community under one umbrella, creating better continuity of care for all of our residents, whether it be due to a short-term need or a long-term need or a transition of care from one level to the other. Ed comes to us with an extensive background. He's been an RN, I think, for over 10 years at this point. Has been a director of nursing at a variety of assisted living communities. And he's a great guy who cares deeply and has a really nice personality too, and is working out very, very well. So I don't know if you've had a chance to meet him yet. I was going to ask him to come join us today, but he's busy doing an assessment for a new resident who's moving in, and Nathan would get mad at me if I pulled him away from that. So we didn't want to do that. But joining him, and you may have met her as well, is a woman named Patricia, or Pat Tynes. Pat is in the clinic, and she is our new clinic nurse. Now, if you remember, previously, we did not have a nurse dedicated just to being in the clinic. We had the personal care nurses that came out to your apartment, and then we had a couple of people in the clinic, but neither of them were nurses. And we felt it was important to have a nurse stationed in the clinic. So Pat has joined the team. She has a great background and experience as well, so she's getting up to speed, and she is in the clinic 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So if you need to go down there, whether it's for a doctor's appointment or for anything else, there's a nurse dedicated just to that in the clinic now. We thought that was an important service upgrade to provide all of you in the event of a need to visit the clinic at any point during the week. And then the returning person, you may recognize the name Marcia McLaren. Marcia served for several years as our primary concierge here at the front desk. She left for a little while and joined one of our sister companies, Spring Point at Home. And she said she missed us. Even though she was still in the building, she missed us. So Marcia has come back to Monroe Village, and she is our administrative assistant for healthcare. This is a new role that we've also added to try to provide additional support on our clinic or clinical side. Marcia will be based in assisted living at the front door, because she'll support Ed as the Director of Clinical Services, and his office is over in assisted living. But Marcia will be supporting the entire clinical services team, be it the clinic, personal care, or assisted living. So we're excited to announce a few new folks there. They're all getting situated and getting engaged, and we're happy to have them as part of the Monroe Village team. All right, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Village Point. A few things I want to bring up for over there. The first thing I want to share with you, it's been a while, but our friends from the New Jersey Department of Health decided to come pay us a visit. They seem to like to come visit us during or immediately after holidays because they think they're going to trip us up. So Thanksgiving was Thursday, the 26th, 25th. And they were here at 7 a.m. on Monday, November 29th. They show up unannounced for their surveys of skilled nursing facilities. So they walked in the door at 7 a.m. on Monday the 29th, as Gina can attest, in the back of the room for the peanut gallery, because she was here at 7 a.m. on Monday the 29th. And they just show up and they say, hi, we're here to give you a full and complete inspection inside, outside, and upside down. And that's what they do. And they were here for an entire week, Monday through Friday. So starting at 7 a.m. on Monday, the 29th of November. And they were here through about noontime on Friday, the 3rd of December. We had 4 nurses who are employed by the state, by the New Jersey Department of Health, that were here inspecting, reviewing, looking at things that happen over there at Village Point, as well as 1 life safety inspector. And life safety, that's the part of the process, if you will, that looks at all of our safety systems from a building standpoint. So like sprinkler systems and fire ratings of walls and doors and emergency generators and wiring and electrical systems and water temperatures at your sinks, and you name it, they look at it. They give you the full exam. There's no shortchanging us when they do that. So, not surprisingly, they were very pleased with what they saw, because we do a good job every day. Doesn't matter what day it is, it doesn't matter if it's after a holiday, we do a good job every day. Are we perfect? No, we're not, but we do a good job every day. So they were happy to see the residents and staff actively engaged while they were here, despite all of the COVID challenges that we have. And as you probably know, over at Village Point, we have to employ more COVID restrictions than we do here in independent living. But that doesn't mean that we should not be engaged with our residents, and we're continuing to do that in every way that we can. So part of what they do is they interview residents. They talk to people who are receiving care. And they told us that the residents had very positive feedback about the staff and about the care that they receive over at Village Point. So that's coming directly from the horse's mouth, directly from those who live at Village Point who are receiving that care and service. The survey team was also very impressed with the look of the building and the environment. It's clean, it's well maintained. Dale and her team take care of any kind of, issues over there when it comes to cleaning things. Stan and his team take care of everything over there when it comes to, painting things and keeping the walls in good condition and everything lit up and looking good. They were very, very impressed with the look of the building. In addition, they also talked to family members because they know it's important to get the feedback of the loved ones of those who reside at Village Point. And they got good feedback from the residents as well, from the family members as well, telling them about the interactions that they have with our staff, the ability to communicate, the ability to have involvement and engagement in their loved one's care. So like I said, we're not perfect, and they did identify a couple minor issues in the kitchen and with some of our documentation in nursing. And when I think about all the things that we need to do in a skilled nursing environment, and for those of you that don't know it, skilled nursing or nursing homes are the most regulated industry in the United States of America. More so than the nuclear industry. What's that tell you? Okay? So the nursing homes and skilled nursing facilities are really, really, really scrutinized, as they should be, because we're providing care and service for our most vulnerable Americans, and we need to make sure that we're doing it right everywhere. So they're always going to find a little something here or there, because none of us are perfect. But the important thing is, anything that they found here at Village Point is not directly related to the care that our residents receive on a daily basis. Something with documentation, somebody forgot to cross a T, somebody forgot to dot an I. It's a paperwork type of thing. And those of you who've dealt with bureaucracy know that there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be completed. And in the kitchen, if you come to my house and look in our kitchen, I'm going to be afraid of what you find. They get upset if they find a pot that was washed and cleaned, but still is damp. That's the kind of scrutiny that they put you under. All important stuff, don't get me wrong, but just to give you an idea of the level of detail that they look at. So they identified a few minor things, but nothing that's really concerning. We'll fix it and we'll move forward. So overall, we were very, very pleased with the outcome of the survey from the New Jersey Department of Health and the Medicare while they were here, almost 2 weeks ago at this point, or a week ago. It's only been a week. God, time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, so speaking of Village Point, I wanted to bring you all up to date with some of the changes amongst the leadership team over there. I think we all know what all of us have been through over the last almost 2 years at this point. It's been really, really hard, and our team, to an individual, has given more of themselves than I could ever ask of my leadership team to do, and they gave it willingly and repeatedly. And people are tired. And over at Village Point, they had to do even more and work even harder and keep even more things under control. And they did it and did it exceptionally well. So at this point in time, as things have stabilized, folks looked at it as an opportunity to step away for a little bit, to focus on their families, to focus on things they haven't been able to do. So we've had some folks decide to step away from their roles at Village Point. Tina Hanneman, our administrator, has left us. Now, those of you who know Tina, you couldn't ask for a more dedicated, compassionate, engaged individual. Those of you who know Tina also know she has a little girl with her husband. Her little girl turned 3 in November. That little girl has never known her mom to be anything other than somebody who spent almost all of her waking hours at work, dealing with COVID and issues and things, trying to keep other people safe. Tina needed a break. She needed to go home and be a mom. And I think those of us who are parents can understand what that means. So Tina has stepped away, and a few other folks have left us as well. But we're very fortunate that we've been able to bring in some new folks who bring us a lot of experience, some familiar names here, and we're going to move forward as we go into the new year at Village Point. So Luann Della Pietro is going to be joining us as our new administrator at Village Point. Luann has been a part of the Spring Point family, well, for as long as the atrium at Navasink has been part of the Spring Point family, which is about 15 years, and she's actually been part of the atrium for about 30 years. Luann is a nurse, she's an RN, who has been an RN on the floor. She's been a director of nursing. She's been a director of health services, and she's been an administrator. So she's going to be transferring from the atrium over here to us at Village Point to join us as our new administrator starting in January. And then here's a familiar name, Gabriella Abril. I think everybody knows Gabby. Gabby was our clinic coordinator, and she left us earlier this year to focus on going back to school. She's looking to become a medical doctor. Well, she was kind enough to jump in and help us over at Village Point as other people needed to take a break. And she right now is serving as our acting director of nursing. So if you do visit over at Village Point for any reason, you might see Gabby, and that'll be the reason why. And she's been a big help over there at Village Point through a couple of different things. And then Tara Callahan Rodriguez. Many of you who are more tenured, I'm going to call you, residents here at Monroe Village, who've been here for several years, may recognize that name. Tara has worked for us, gosh, for what, 10 years or more, I'm going to say. Does that sound about right for those of you in the back of the room that know those things? Tara was at one point the ESP coordinator when we had our ESP program. She was the clinic coordinator at one point when we were doing different things over the course of time. Tara has done a variety of roles for us, and she's been over at Village Point since, well, she's been part of the healthcare center. She was part of the healthcare center before we opened Village Point, and has been over at Village Point since the beginning. And she has recently been promoted to the assistant director of nursing role. Our prior assistant director of nursing, Jackie Vendigny, retired. So Tara has been promoted into that assistant director of nursing role, and we're really, really happy to have her as a part of that. And then the other name you see on the screen there is Karen Calizo. Karen is our new director of social services for subacute, or for the Aspen neighborhood only. Liz Sharon was our former senior director of social services, working over there at Village Point. Another person who's been with us for many, many years. Similarly, needed to go home and be a mom. Her son's a little bit older, but she needed to go home and be a mom, and she's dealing with some other family issues that she needed to focus on at this point in time. So we've had Karen come in and join the team, and Karen brings to us, gosh, I think about 25 years of social work experience, primarily in skilled nursing communities like Village Point. So we're happy to have her, and she's just going to focus on the Aspen or the subacute neighborhood over there. So people who are coming for short-term stays, Karen will be the social worker who will work with them in terms of having them come in, working on discharge planning, making sure they have what they need when they go home, whether home is back here to Monroe Village or home is someplace outside of Monroe Village altogether. So we're happy to have all of these folks on board with us as we enter the new year at Village Point. All right. So I'm going to finish up with a couple of COVID-19 reminders. We're into the holiday season. We're all getting out and about more, which is wonderful, and I encourage people to do so. I think we all know how difficult it has been when we weren't able to do things last year during the holiday season. But I want to remind everybody to do your best and do what you can to be safe for yourselves, to be safe for your loved ones, and to be safe for all of us here at Monroe Village. You know, we live in the bubble. I've called it the bubble of Monroe Village for quite some time now. And with the vaccine, we live really in a bubble here at Monroe Village. We are at, between residents and staff, at something like 99.4, if I was really going to do the Dove soap, 99 and 44 100ths, right? Percent vaccinated. So everyone here at Monroe Village, whether it be you as our residents in independent living or in assisted living, or us as team members, we're all vaccinated, which puts a tremendous bubble of safety over top of us, and it's wonderful. And those who come to visit, we hope they're vaccinated, but they're all screened at the door. And if they're not safe, we don't let them in. You all know how our screening process works. But we've got a tremendous amount of safety here inside Monroe Village. So what do we need to remember to do? Remember to do those things like wash your hands, watch your distance, keep a little bit of distance between you and other folks, especially if they're not vaccinated, okay? If you have a cough or a sneeze, make sure you're coughing into, an elbow. If you cough into a tissue, throw it away right away. Don't leave germs an opportunity to spread, okay? If you're sick, stay home, let us know about it, and let us just help you with whatever it might be. In your apartments, if you have those Lysol wipes or any of those sorts of things that we all were clamoring for earlier on. Surfaces, we do all wiping down of surfaces. Dale had to run because she has something to wipe down right now, but you'll see our housekeepers out there wiping down tables, wiping down chairs, wiping down light switches when they come into your apartment. Remember to do those things. That helps, again, prevent the spread of germs. And just as importantly, we all need to work as a team. We all need to help one another, protect one another, and keep our family here safe. And my last reminder is just to be thoughtful when you're traveling outside of the bubble. Okay, again, with the holiday season, you may be going out to visit friends and family, and I encourage you to do so. And I don't think that you should be afraid to do such at all. But just be thoughtful. Wear a mask. Okay, make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you're just keeping on top of the things that are important to keep yourselves safe and keep all of us safe. I just can't stress it enough. I don't think we can live our lives in fear. I think that early on, we all lived our lives in fear because we didn't know so many things. We know so much more now. And we have a vaccine that seems to continue to be very, very effective. But that doesn't mean we can let our guard down either. So I'm asking all of you to be mindful of that for your own health, safety, and well-being, and for that for all of us here inside the bubble at Monroe Village. So with that, we are on to questions and comments. Tony here in the front has a microphone. We'll turn the lights on. And if you have questions or comments, please raise your hand. And Tony will come around with the microphone. Wait till you get the mic so that everyone can hear you. Okay? Tony, I see Betty in the back has her hand raised. If we could start there, that would be great.
Very, very simple questions.
Sure.
And I believe we may have already been answered. First of all, Christmas Day is coming. Can I assume that Mike has inferred that there will be a sit-down dinner for Christmas Day?
I'm going to stop you right there. We have made no decisions, as Mike said. There'll be more information coming next week regarding holiday meals. What's important to note right now is that Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, as well as New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, are on the holiday meal schedule, which means it's like the Sunday brunch schedule. As far as location or what we'll be doing, Betty, more information to come.
Thank you. The other question is about New Year's Eve. And will the tables, we are going to make reservations. Will the reservations be able to be made for as much as 8 people?
I'm gonna look
I'd like
at,
to ask Steve, but maybe Cindy can.
yeah, I don't know if we have, what table size we might be looking at.
I have the diagram. I'm not sure if it's 8 or is it 6? It might be 6.
It usually is, it has been 6 in the past, but usually before the pandemic, before our descent into hell, it was 8 people. And I've been asked, people would like to sit with us, and I hate to reject them, but you have to.
Betty, we're gonna have one, like the last time,
Yeah.
one long table, and then we're gonna have the round tables on the other side. So maybe the people who
I'll-
wanna sit at the long table with more than 6 can sit there.
Right, so what Cindy's saying, yeah, so what Cindy's saying, for those of you who may not be able to hear, we're gonna have both one large table that many people can sit at, and then other smaller tables that probably accommodate up to groups of 6 for the New Year's Eve party all around the room. So we should be able to accommodate everybody, whether you're a small group or a larger group. The important thing is we're all gonna be together. Last year we couldn't all be together. We had to do New Year's Eve to go. I think, we were really creative in giving everybody hors d'oeuvres for New Year's, but we were all alone. And whether we're sitting with a group of 4 or a group of 6 or a group of 8 or a group of 28 this year, the most important thing is we're all gonna be together. And I think that's the most wonderful thing. Because yes, Betty, it has been a really challenging time the last 21 months. You're absolutely right.
And thank you for the packages of cookies and candies that were left at everybody's door. I think we're all enjoying them.
Well, we're glad, and I want you to know, this gentleman here, who just poked his head in the door, baked over 3,000 cookies for all of you.
25 pounds of Hershey's,
And 25 pounds of Hershey's Kisses,
20 pounds of mints.
and 20 pounds of the little peppermints. So when you think about that, that's a lot. That's a lot. 3,000 cookies, 25 pounds of kisses, and 25 pounds of kisses, right? And 20 pounds of peppermints. 'Tis the season, my friends. But thank you to Mike and the dining crew for doing that. That was a special treat, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Other comments or questions?
Yeah.
Oh, Barry's got one over here.
Hello, Tony. Very well, thank you.
Jay, thank you very much for mentioning the appreciation fund. But you mentioned Larry and Barry, but we have a team also. And we have a team of Julie Gelb, the great vice president, and Muriel Tereski, the great secretary, and Jill Hoffenberg, the great assistant treasurer, that does a lot of things that nobody even knows about. But and we have Marie Effinger, who's a lovely girl, and I love her. I love them all, and I couldn't do it without all of them. You believe you me. And I want to thank them openly here and always for supporting me and helping me, because I'm a neophyte at this thing. And thank you all, and from our board to everybody else, we wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and all that good stuff.
Indeed. Absolutely. It is really nice to have the Executive Committee and the Residents Association functioning again. Another COVID tragedy that we had to deal with on so many levels, but you have great representatives on your Executive Committee now who really are looking to do lots of great things for you. So please continue to encourage them and to support them as they go into the new year. And Barry's right, it's a great group to a person, every single one of them. It's really nice. So thank you. Other comments or questions? Oh, Julie's got one up front.
Thank you. I just start off by saying that Wednesday definitely was extra special. We appreciate everything. I don't know if you can share this information or not, but I was just wondering how many people resigned because of not getting COVID shots.
I can't give you exact numbers, but I can tell you that we had people who left because of the COVID-19 vaccination mandate. Probably the bigger challenge that we're seeing, it wasn't that many. Most people ended up getting the vaccine, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, okay? And there are some folks who applied for exemptions, be it medical or religious, and some of those exemptions, most of those exemptions, to be honest, were granted. One of the challenges we're actually seeing now, though, with respect to the vaccine mandate is applicants and new employees who are not vaccinated, because we have a mandate now that you must be vaccinated prior to being hired. And we've had several folks who applied for jobs, and they looked great on paper, and we interviewed them, and we were all ready to extend an offer to them. And we said, all right, give us your vaccination card. And they said, I don't have one. And then we would say, because we're going to figure out a way to be as flexible as we can without compromising our safety. Okay, well, how about you go get a shot today, and that starts your process, and then we start getting you going in our process, and by the time you get your second shot, you'll be able to start. And they're not interested in getting the shot. And we're holding the line, and we know that it might be, cutting our nose off and spite our face. Some people might look at it that way because we're desperate for new employees, but we are holding that line that people have to be vaccinated. So that's where I'm seeing the bigger challenge with regard to the vaccine right now, Julie. It's not, or the mandate with the vaccine, from an employment standpoint. It's not necessarily those we had to let go or chose to resign, or those who got the exemptions. It's actually in the new applicants right now.
I mean, as you know, I personally, we wish that everybody would get vaccinated. And I think it's a good idea for people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was just wondering. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to add to what Julie said. I know from some of the meetings that we have had with Jay, he said that some of the parents are reticent, or they're uneasy about having their children vaccinated.
Yep.
So that's been a big issue.
It is.
From what you've said in the past.
Yes.
Yeah, and I suppose it still is.
Yeah, and on a personal level, I've seen that validated not only with some of the kids who were looking for here to work, but you guys know I have 2 teenage children, one who's a freshman in college now who gallivants about the country without telling his parents, and one who is a sophomore in high school. So we're living that as parents right now too. And our kids are both vaccinated, and I had no qualms about that, nor did Kim, and my sister's kids are vaccinated. We're all, but where I was going was, in school, we get reports from the school about kids who are getting COVID. And, and I'll say to Sammy, to our daughter, oh, well, they reported today 2 kids at school got COVID, blah, blah, blah. And she's reporting to me something similar to what we're seeing here, that some kids' parents are reluctant to have the kids get the COVID vaccine. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to get into reasons or why or any of that stuff, but I guess what I'm just saying is I want to validate what we're seeing here from a business or from a work perspective, where that struggle, Muriel, has come into place in trying to hire the kids for the dining room. I am getting validated at home through my daughter and through her friends and through her school, hearing that some people are facing the same thing. So yes, that's another challenge in the workforce right now, particularly with the kids who are so vital to what we do here. So it's a challenge, yes.
I'd like to add a question on to that. What about the home health aides? There are some here that come from independent organizations. Some are supplied by Monroe Village and so forth. A lot of them are around here. What about the vaccinations status of the home health aides?
Anyone who is employed by Monroe Village or by Spring Point is vaccinated. If people are making independent contracting decisions as an individual resident, particularly with either an individual not through an agency, which we continue to discourage all of you to do for a variety of reasons, or through an agency that we have not vetted and approved, I cannot speak to their vaccination status. I can't. That's a risk that individuals are taking.
So they are coming into our.
I can't tell you whether they're vaccinated or not because they're visitors just like any other visitor, and we don't mandate that visitors, not through our agency or through those that are approved by us. I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you, Bernie, and I'm telling people make individual decisions.
But they are visitors. They're not coming just to one place. They're floating all around the whole place.
Well,
Sometimes
again,
without even masks on.
that's why I encourage all of you who choose to have private duty in your apartments to do it through an approved, accredited agency that mandates vaccination and many other things. And I can't force you to do that, but I can tell you about all the perils if you choose to do so. And you're pointing out a very important one, Bernie, absolutely. Any other comments or questions? All right. Well, don't forget, if you think of a comment or a question, or if you're watching this at home and you weren't here with us live today, please reach out to us. You can contact Gina at extension 6413 and she'll get your comments or questions to the right place. She can also get you copies of the slide presentation from today. They are available for all of you upon request each and every month. So with that, thanks again for being here. Thank you for your participation. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and here's to all good things to come. Thank you so much, everyone.